Today, we're going to talk about some cocktail myths. Things that just aren't true. They're not. Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derrick Schommer. Common Man Cocktails is a channel all about making you a better cocktail creator, understanding and enjoying the flavors, muddled with just a little bit of humor. Today, what we're going to talk about is just some cocktail myths. 7 cocktail myths that aren't true that you'll probably hear at some point in your life, probably while you've been drinking. One of the first myths, it's more of a perception issue, is that Di Serono Original, what used to be called Di Serono Amaretto, is made from almonds. That's not true. Di Serono is actually made from apricot pits. If you want to know more about the Di Serono blend and why they kind of changed the name from Di Serono Amaretto to just Di Serono, watch the interview right up here that I did with one of the Di Serono reps at Tales of the Cocktail 2016. Also, Jagermeister is actually made with deer's blood. I mean, there's a deer in the picture, so it must be deer's blood. No, it's actually made with 56 herbs, roots, and other ingredients that you aren't necessarily privy to because most products have their own secret recipes. None of which is deer's blood. There's food and drug councils and administrations all over the world to keep people safe. This is why civilization continues to grow and not die as quickly. Snopes.com suggests that this probably originated in around 1992 timeframe. Probably by somebody who was doing some heavy drinking and has a creative imagination. So go drink your Jagermeister herbal liqueur, bloodless, but it is a good story. Here's another one. Martinis are supposed to be served in a martini glass. That's not really true. It might be where we've taken things, but back in the 30s and 40s, the Nick and Nora glass and the coupe glass, which we now use mainly for taking pictures of champagne, were what you would have traditionally served a martini in. But times changed, martini glasses become the in thing, and the practicality of them isn't really always there, but sometimes things build momentum and they become the standard. What a diehard cocktail enthusiast will tell you is that a martini should be served in a martini glass, should be made of gin, and that anything that has the word martini after it isn't really a martini at all. So there you go with your Banana Cosmo Appletinis, your Palmatinis, and all those other things that you call martinis because you put them in a martini glass. Well, no, not really. A martini glass is a gin martini and that's it. Prior to that, your Nick and Nora was the way to go. Or maybe a coupe. Here's another myth. Taste is the most important factor. No, not really. Or as Trump would say, wrong. Your sense of smell is one of the largest factors in tasting a cocktail. Tasting food. Taste in general. What happens is when you take a sip of that cocktail, a lot of that aroma goes up your nasal passages from the back, not from the front, and it sparks and ignites a lot of cool different flavor profiles. All kinds of really cool things happen. And if you don't believe me, you can do what you do when I drink cocktails I don't like. Hold your nose when you sip it. It works for asparagus too. If you hold your nose and shut down a lot of the aroma sensors, all of a sudden everything kind of tastes boring and bland. Here's one for you. Spirits that costs more are usually better. That's not really the case. See, in the spirits industry, it's not abnormal for a brand to raise the price of a product to make it ultra premium. Now, you would think to make something ultra premium, you need to use really crazy ultra premium ingredients. Maybe you go to like the Sahara Desert to find this one tiny plant that yields like only 10% of its product, and you put that into this other liquor, spirit, and now that spirit's worth hundreds of dollars. It's a good story, just like the back of a Captain Morgan bottle, but it's not necessarily always true. That's not to say that an ultra premium product doesn't have quality. It just means that sometimes the price is dictated by what they want the perception to be. I know some companies will actually buy a brand or create a new brand and raise the price 20, 30, 50% higher than it really needs to be because all the rest of the products in their portfolio are around that same cost. And they believe it diminishes their brand by having one low-cost product with a bunch of high-cost products, bringing the high-cost ones down to meet it. So in turn, you raise that one product up, and now you sell only ultra-premium product. And what that also means is sometimes you can find a great steal of a product, especially in the vodka realm, for low money. You don't always have to spend top dollar in order to get a good spirit. Here's a myth that I'd love to kill. You can mix cocktails with lower grade ingredients because it's not really gonna matter. So the concept is this. If you have a lot of juices and fruits and other aromatics and whatever, you can use whatever grade alcohol you want because it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to taste it anyway. Then you use the good stuff for sipping. Well, at some level that might make sense. Using a $14 vodka over a $40 vodka and a screwdriver is probably a sensible idea. However, using like a $4 bathtub gin in a Dorchester or a gin martini is not going to make your drink taste better. Good quality cocktails are made with good quality product. That includes your pomegranate juices, your simple syrups, your sour mixes, your spirits, your fresh pressed juices. That's 5 things. 5. And I could think of another 5, but I don't want to waste your time. And here's one of the things I'd love to dispel, and that's what Common Man Cocktails on our new channel, The Craft Cocktail, is all about. Cocktails are hard to make. This is a myth I hear from everybody, and some of those people I've been able to change their minds. Other people, I just don't even bother. Just drink your beer. This was my problem in 2008. I had the same perception that cocktails were hard to make. I don't understand the ingredients. There's tons of different bottles. I go to the liquor store and I don't know what I should be buying. It really comes down to education. Fixing a dishwasher is hard to do if you don't learn some basic steps. In some ways, I blame this on the love of tiki in America and abroad. Tiki drinks can definitely be more hard to build because of the accessibility of all the different rums, passion fruits, and other syrups that you might not have on hand or even know what they mean, let alone what they taste like. And once you realize that to make a basil-infused simple syrup is as simple as boiling water and sugar and throwing a couple pieces of basil in there, life gets a lot simpler. The fact is, your anticipation of building cocktails is really just because you don't have enough education. And the education doesn't require a PhD or 4 years or high school. It requires a few very basic simple steps, which I hope you'll gain or have gained from watching this channel. So in the comments below, write some other myths that you could think of that you think I should either go research and bust, or that you can already prove are not true. Don't forget to check out The Craft Cocktail. It's youtube.com/thecraftcocktail. I put my first video out this week. It's on how to use a Boston shaker properly. Next, you'll see one on how to properly measure with a jigger, and then we'll begin our cocktail creation process going through 15 easy vodka cocktails. Once a week, you're going to get a cool cocktail. After that, we're going to do 15 gin, 15 bourbon, and they'll all be building upon each other so that your knowledge will continue to grow and that fear of making cocktails will diminish. Now, click the link below. That's the subscribe button. Over here is a video you should watch because YouTube suggests it, and down below is the playlist, The More You Know, which has a bunch of great techniques and information for you about making cocktails. We're teaching you how to drink.